Hi, welcome to Face to Face. My name is Kate and I'm here to show you guys how to do some dimensional makeup. Now, dimensional makeup can be used for anybody out there. It can be used for daytime, nighttime. It's just a technique to make all of your features stand out. Today I'm going to be highlighting using the Instafix highlighting stick, and I'm also going to be using the Eyes, Cheeks, and Lips palette. So let's get started. So first, to prep the skin, I'm going to use Revlon's Absolute Radiance Toner. Just going to help balance the pH in her skin and also add a little bit of radiance as well. Next up, I'm going to use the Absolute Radiance Day Lotion just to give the skin a little bit of moisture and a little bit of radiance as well. I'm always going to be brushing in more of a downward angle to help smooth out the skin. Any baby hairs are going to lay down as opposed to creating texture and bringing it back up. I'm always going to smooth downward. Next, I'm going to apply the foundation using the Revlon Color Stay 2-in-1 foundation, both a foundation and a concealer. We're going to start with the foundation first, working towards the center of the face. Sometimes when you're using a foundation brush, you might end up with little lines that the foundation brush creates. So I like to just move the brush in the opposite direction, and that blends out all the lines. Now that we have the foundation on, I'm going to use the 2-in-1 concealer. Just a little bit underneath her eyes, using more of a tapping motion. By tapping it and dabbing it, I'm going to end up building the coverage where I want it, as opposed to sweeping it, which actually takes away the coverage and makes it more sheer. Next, I'm going to highlight the face first using the Instafix highlighting stick. So I'm going to add a little bit of highlight just on the cheekbones. And a little bit in above the lip too. Next, for the contour, I'm actually going to use Revlon's Color Stay 24-Hour Full Coverage Foundation. We have this nice, beautiful dark color here that I'm going to use. So when I'm shading the cheekbone, I'm going to kind of figure out where the underneath of her cheekbone really is, so I know that I'm hugging her natural bone structure. And I'm going to start with the back of the face, because I want the most dark and most depth to come from the back. And once I place it, I'm just going to blend up and out from my darkest intensity point. So next, I'm going to add just a little bit of contour on the jawline, but instead of starting around here, I'm going to start from behind the ear. That way it creates a really natural shadow coming out from behind the face, and there's not a disconnect in the colors between here and here. Next, next we're gonna do just a little bit of contour on the nose, not too much. We don't want too much makeup, remembering that this is a daytime look. So we're just going to look at her natural bone structure. I can see where she creates a little bit of shadow here, so I'm just going to follow that really lightly and pulling it down and away. And just a little bit right here. She's got a beautiful nose, so I don't want to change the shape of it. I just want to make it stand out a little bit. Next, I'm going to just set everything and keep it nice and secure with a little bit of this two-way powder foundation. So when I first start doing the brows, I'm going to use my spoolie brush right here to just comb out the natural shape. Make sure all the hairs are nice and groomed before I start drawing and filling in the brows. When I fill in the brows, I'm always going to be going in the same direction as the hair growth, as opposed to going in the opposite direction. And I like to start with the arch. The arch of the brow is the highest point of the brow. It has the most definition, the most expression. And when you have the shape of the arch, the rest of the brow comes pretty easy. Next, I'm going to take just a little bit of the gel, just to add in a little bit more depth into the brow, and also it'll help keep the brow in place. So next I'm going to apply the eyeshadow using the Eyes, Cheeks, and Lips palette. Just like when I was highlighting and contouring, I'm going to start with my lightest colors first and then work my way down to the darkest colors to build on the dimension. So just placing the lighter color in the inner corner of the eye, a little bit above the actual pupil of the eye, just so it'll brighten and open up the eye. Next, I'm going to use the second darkest color, and that's going to be this one right here, just to add a little bit of depth. We're going to start building on that depth. I'm going to add just a little bit of depth, starting on that outer corner a little bit. And from that, we're going to blend it into the light. There's a soft gradient of color. So next I'm going to use my darkest color, which is this nice matte brown. And I'm going to use that into the second darkest color. That way, again, I'm building on the depth and I'm adding even more dimension. And I like that I'm using a matte color because all the other colors that we've used so far, the textures have been very shiny. So using the matte will just make the dimension of the eye pop out even more. I'm going to add a little bit of this dark color underneath the eyes. Add more depth. Makes the eye a little bit more intense as well. So I'm going to add a little bit of the darkest color here. I'm using a matte dark brown, and I'm going to build it on the end of the second to darkest color. So I'm adding that depth and I'm building in on that dimension a little bit. I'm using a matte color because the previous two colors were more of a shining kind of shimmer color. So the matte is just going to help bring those colors out even more and add more depth. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of eyeliner just to give a little bit more definition in the eye. Getting it right in between where the lashes grow. That way it's a nice tight eyeliner and gives the illusion of thicker lashes. So on top of the gel eyeliner, then I'm going to use the Revlon Color Stay Liquid Eye Pen just to add a little bit more intensity. So I'm making the eyeliner a little bit thicker on the ends of the eye, because that's also going to help build on the dimension of our eye. So I'm going to make the eyeliner a little bit thicker on the ends and make it kind of radiate into a thinner eyeliner towards the inner corner of the eye, and that'll give the eye even more depth and dimension. So there you have it. That's your daytime dimensional look. I hope you guys learned a lot today, and I hope to see you again next time.